Hi everyone, DJ here. Welcome to showing all the hats I got in Lego Worlds Part 4. All the last part are showing all the hats I got in Lego Worlds. I have shown was the Swamp Creature, the Spartan Warrior, the Spaceman Yellow Suit, the White Suit one, the Red Suit one, and the Blue Suit one known as Benny. If you haven't checked out the live part of showing the hats I got in Lego Worlds, you may go check that part out before this one. But today's hats I am showing is the Spaceman Black Suit, which is the another Spaceman. This is pretty much the fifth time I'm pretty much gonna be showing this, which is crazy. The Sheriff one, the Scuba Diver, the Scarecrow, the Roman Soldier, and the Roman Commander. So these are the hats I'm showing pretty much today. I was showing all the hats I got in Lego Worlds. So, with no time as always, let's go into this. Before I do start, well, if you haven't checked out the recent Overwatch poll, may go check that poll out while y'all watching the video. So today's poll was, what is your favorite map from Overwatch in this list? So we have was Hanamura, Kings Row, Hollywood, and Route 66, not Route 66, Route 66. And most of all, I wasn't surprised actually about this because most of all, you guys picked was Hanamura. Now, this was going to be kind of very interesting for me to pick actually as well, because if I had to pick any of one of these four, I think I had to go with Hanamura. I know people like King Row as well, because I know King Row had been like, people's like favorite as well, but I gotta go with Hanamura. And the reason is, most of all, it's one of my favorite maps from Overwatch. And it's also when it's shown around the Hanzo and Genji's Hanzo and Genji's not really backstory, what I was gonna say, but mostly cinematic. So that was cool about that. So Hanamura is really my pick for this one. But let's go ahead and show the hat. So let's show off the Spaceman Black Suit one. Now this one right here ain't gonna be a long talk because most of all I talked around the last part about these. This one is just basically the same. It's basically a black suit one, but be the same. So it's nothing really too different about it. I mean, it kind of does match my outfit a bit, but like I said before, I do not wear hats in Lego Worlds, like, at all. But this one is pretty much, kind of like, a cool one, but an okay one. So this one's pretty much kind of like a 7. So 7 out of 10. Alright, next one is the Sheriff. And I'll tell you what, the Sheriff one does look pretty cool. I like the Sheriff hat, by the way. And most of all, I don't know if actually, matter of fact, I was going to say, I want to know if they're selling, like, cowboy hats, like, they like sheriff hats or cowboy hats. I think they still do to today. Like, I don't think I ever seen mostly a cowboy or a sheriff hat in general, like somewhere I'm going shopping. I might have, I might haven't, I am not too sure. But mostly on my character, it does look cool, but to be fair, if I was dressed like a whole-time sheriff, I would have the whole-time sheriff outfit, especially the mustache. But yeah, there's nothing wrong about most of the sheriff hat. I like it. I love the sheriff star on there, and that's really the whole time of the hat. So sheriff, or should I say sheriff hat? I'll give you about a 10 out of 10. It's really a 10. I mean, really, who would disrespect the sheriff? So 10 out of 10 it is. All right, next one is the scuba diver. Now this one is pretty much cool. I mean, most of all, I never really mostly wear a whole entire scuba diver gear before around in like Worlds, but most of all, I probably think my health is gonna go down when I'm pretty swimming in the ocean. Yeah, so I had to wear the whole entire outfit. But yeah, this one is pretty much a cool one. I'm not kind of sure. Yeah, I think people still do scuba diving. I mean, scuba diving would be fun to do, by the way, in general. But I definitely do not want to count something that's pretty, trying not to kill me. Like, for example, like a shark, which is like kind of reasonable right there, very reasonable. I mean, I would love to see, jellyfish, corals, fishes, octopus, basically all of that. But shark, no. I do not want to deal with a shark when I'm scuba diving. Also, there has been some incidents when I've seen videos before of people who have died in scuba diving. I mean, I'm not gonna give most of like everything about it, by the way, but I heard people have died from scuba diving before. Like, I'm not making this up, by the way, because I only seen a video of when somebody got trapped under the rock and they couldn't even breathe. And like I said, I'm not going to a full story about it. I'm just saying as just saying. But I'll tell you one reason is if you like scuba diving, pretty much that's fine. That's one thing for sure. That's fine. You want to go explore around under the sea to see some cool sea animals. That's literally fine. And I hope you pretty much take good pictures of them, by the way. But I just hope that mostly everyone pretty much stays safe, mostly underwater, because you do not know who you be encountering underwater. Like, you have no idea what type of creature you be encountering, like, literally underwater. Like, literally everything. But that's what I just want to say for just, for scuba diving. So, a scuba diver, I'll give you about an 8. It's literally an 8, so 8 out of 10 it is. Alright, next one is the Scarecrow. Now, a Scarecrow hat, I don't think nobody really talks about a Scarecrow nowadays. I mean, unless you're talking about on a farm. But, I mean, Scarecrows are cool. I mean, to be fair, I'm not gonna lie, Scarecrow kind of looks a bit, creepy in general. Because, Scarecrow should be most like in a Halloween going on instead of being in a farm. And I understand why farmers put, like, crows in the whole entire farm. Because, the crows. But, like, I'm not entirely sure if I want a Scarecrow just staring in front of my house, and next thing you know, he's just pretty, still staring with like kind of like a little bit like, I'm not saying he's like gonna move or anything like that, but just gonna be kind of like just looking at you weird, just like very looking at you weird. But what am I saying is that most of all, the Scarecrow hat is pretty much pretty much an okay one. I mean, I'm not really saying I don't hate this hat. I mean, I would probably match with any character with this hat, but I never made an OC wear a hat like this before. But I do want to try some new stuff with like mostly new OC for this year of 2026 with some hats, by the way. But I'll pretty much think about it mostly with the Scarecrow hat, maybe. But Scarecrow hats, I'll give you about mostly a 7. So this is also a 7 out of 10. Alright, next one is the Roman Soldier. Now, the Roman Soldier one is pretty much cool. But when I talked over around the last part of showing all the hats I got in LEGO Worlds, I'm just going to wear it anyway. The Spartan Warrior. I'm pretty sure the Spartan Warrior is pretty much very better with the Roman Soldier hat. And it is, actually. I mean, to be fair, soldier hats, like, kind of like army hats are pretty much cool. Or, like, guards hats are pretty much cool. But I feel like we have, like, ones that kind of like, feeling like a cool warrior or a cool guard, you know what I mean? That's kind of feeling like I guess aura. But still, the Roman Soldier hat is pretty much cool. I'm not saying it's the worst hat mostly for LEGO Worlds, but it's a cool one. And I mean, most of all, if you guys are a fan of this hat, by the way, that's pretty much cool. But I wouldn't wear this hat if I had a whole tie, like kind of like a bow outfit going on, or probably wearing like a barbarian. So that's all I want to say right there. So a Roman Soldier, I'll give you about like a 9. It's like a 9, kind of like a 9 or like an 8. So 9 out of 10 it is. And the last one we have for today is the Roman Commander. Now this one is the same. It's the same in the hat, except it got like kind of like the little, I would call it like a brush, which is pretty much is. But I call it kind of like one of those attachments to the hat. So pretty much the attachment of the Roman Soldier hat. So this was kind of feel like the worst hat, by the way. I'm sorry if people really like this, but to be fair, between this hat and the Roman Soldier, I mean, look at this. I don't know if you call this laziness or not, but this feels such laziness. Like, I'm sorry to be negative right here, but like it really is. Like, you could have gave him like kind of like a different change of the hat, by the way, or something kind of like very cool. But like just putting a brush on top of the Roman Soldier hat is pretty kind of crazy. And I wouldn't call this a Roman Commander hat. I would just call this like the Roman brush hat. Like literally, that's what it is. I mean, this is probably got to be one of the most disappointing hats, like for like the Roman Commander, really is. So it's not like not really good, but like I said, it's pretty just mostly. Actually, matter of fact, I should have said this since I started the series. It's mostly just my opinion, by the way. But if you guys like this hat, I mean, cool. But I wouldn't really like a hat that pretty much has like the top of a brush. So that's all I'm gonna say for mostly about for the Roman Commander. So Roman Commander, I'm sorry I have to give a very low rating to this, but I might have given it like a 2. I might have to give it a 2. I never gave anything that low ever, like from a rating video. Mostly like kind of like a rating and showing all of it, like all everything is crazy. So this is literally a 2 out of 10. I'm sorry. So yeah, 2 out of 10 it is. Wow, never gave something that low. So let's see. We got is mostly a 7 out of 10, a 10 out of 10, a 8 out of 10, mostly a 7 out of 10, a 9 out of 10, and a 2 out of 10. Very, very interesting rating for most of these hats. I don't know where I could really say which one y'all favorite, by the way, because if I had to pick a favorite, I had to go with the Sheriff. I mean, it's literally the Wild West. I mean, who wouldn't pick the Sheriff, by the way? But over on next week of Monday, I'll basically be showing it the Robot hat, the Robber hat, no, the stubble one, Rex Tyrone, the Prospector, the Police Officer, no, the serious one, and another police officer with the ATV one. So can't wait to show these hats for around next week, Monday known from showing all the hats I got in Lego Worlds. But yeah, but what and one, I'm gonna go ahead and end off right here. If you guys enjoyed, sure I know what to do. So I'll see y'all tomorrow afternoon in the next video. Bye.